Hello, we don't know some. We want to Imasuen Amowie Izoduwa. Even do Guan Kamieva. I want to speak specifically about two things. The first will be about the young couples who went to flex up the Ben, that is sort of causing some uproar by the Edo people. And the other one, it's a quick response, not in details, to Don Pedro Obaseki. For the first one, well, the palace did release an article October 18, 2023 concerning the use of a Ben. I think, frankly speaking, from our experience, because so I want the Edo people to understand that not everyone of us, prior before that incidents that occurred at Ile-Ife, nobody, I wasn't aware, I don't know whether any other person of my age bracket or even people older than I am was aware that fledging the Eben, when you're not an enabled, titled holder by the Oba of Benin, it's an abominable act. So, in me, I am for. So eventually, we were scolded by our father and we learned. I also think that when others make the same mistakes that some of us made, we should also appeal to them that it's abomination, citing the letter that was written October 18, 2023. So we all have learned. It is the knowledge that we have now by the holy institution God gave to us to guide us, that has now guided us, that we can use to teach our people, so that our people can really learn that these things are abominable. So we should learn to teach our people without using hurtful words, because most of our people do not really know the tradition. Even some of us that knew a couple of things about the tradition didn't even know that part of our tradition. Not to think about some persons who probably were raised outside Edo, or they have never been to Edo State and all of that. So no matter how a news goes that viral, there are still a whole lot of people who are not aware of such news. So I think we should learn. And what that fortunate episode also taught some of us, which I want to tell our people, is that it tried our loyalty to the throne, and we never wavered. We remained resolute. So Izoduwa today is a proud representative of what loyalty is to the throne. I have always believed that, irrespective of whatever happens, the Oba of Benin or the revered palace of the Oba of Benin is never wrong. Is never wrong. So if I've learned that, a 33-year-old man have learned that, I wonder why a 50 years, 60 years, or 70 years old man haven't learned that in Benin. That loyalty should be part of what makes us as a Benin person. So I have lived over that. I have apologized. And I even went for that to say that Abeni Zoe, Abeni Banwa, and I would proudly do it with my friends and colleagues, that there is no other person that God has given to us that have that power over us other than the Oba of Benin. So it is in summary of such loyalty that I, Izoduwa, have every moral standard to always tell people, to always speak on Benin Kingdom's matter because I have seen it all. My loyalty to the throne has never been undisputed, and I will continue to be loyal. I might have one or two reservations about one or two persons within the four walls of the palace, like every other person will have reservations about one or two persons. But if you do mahi, if you see mahi, I atawowa and atabibai runda emega lebo ogigo. So I've always told a lot of our persons that irrespective of your opinion about the palace, there are some certain things that you must not say publicly. It is unbeknown of us. So when we have doubts about some certain matters, we should not be spilling, we should not be seen disunited on the public space. We should always learn that unity at the public front should be our watchword. Then if we want to scold or fight ourselves, we should fight ourselves within in our internals. So that's the first one. The second one is those who said that what we are fighting for is political are the worst set of Benins ever created by God and our ancestors. In short, I doubt if these people who says that some of us are politicizing all of these issues. Some of us have been screaming on our lungs for the past 4 to 5 years. 4 to 5 years. Go and look at my records. Go to Air Force blocks. If there's anybody, as far as Benin Kingdom is concerned today, to speak on this matter concerning court case, whether with the suspended, any no are suspending and date Godunobaseki would be me, because in the first place, the court summon to the palace, if you have a hand in it, if you have a hold on that paper, the Exhibit E is a reference to me, because I said I did a video that created the entire issues. So that was what led to then doing all the things that they did to ensure that I was jailed, which I was jailed January 12th and I came out January 14th. So there is no single person that has a moral right. For the fact that some of us are quiet a little bit on this matter is because we know when to react when the time comes. If anybody has any moral right, it's Izoduwa that has a moral right to come out and speak on this matter. Because the matter now became yone. Rude igwawe nigegwa. Ona makamba sekio. Yawe nigena plan a coup. And even the court summon to the palace, what is regarded as Exhibit E, is referring to the publication, the video that I said I made under a platform that posted it, an Air Force blog that posted it on the YouTube. So, if I now hear some persons like Don Pedro is now saying that the Oba of Benin and the people who took him to court are brothers, it sums up how these people has fallen off the peak. And these are people we used to respect in the society. That you could denigrate the throne of the Oba of Benin and reduce it to become a brother to a brother. Understanding fully well that the moment the Oba of Benin was coronated and crowned, October 2016, he stopped being a brother to anybody. He became a father of the Edo people. This is not a case between a brother and a brother. This is a case between a father and his children. These are little things that even a 33-year-old Izoduwa knows about, that all those old men who we are supposed to be learning from do not know. It's quite unfortunate. These are ancient parables. Whether Obaseki has a hand in it or he doesn't have a hand in it is a matter that I would address much later. Because as you look, I adriko na yagboma azema gbo loko ma So we are not foolish. A generation of so very uneducated people are not telling the educated generations that they are foolish and they are the one politicizing the matter. Every single thing that is playing out in Benin Kingdom today, I once predicted it 3 years ago. Go and look at all my videos on FO's blog on YouTube, because that's their popular blog. Fortunately or whatever, unfortunately, I'm not the owner of the blog, but the owner is a friend. He seems to like my videos. Go and look at my videos ago, 3 years ago. Every single thing that is happening in Benin Kingdom today, I predicted them 3 years ago. So some of us are not as lazy as some of these people are anticipating. The core matter is we understand the genesis of the matter. When I was shouting on my lungs and shouting on my voice, or whatever you want to speak the English, about a year ago or 2 years ago, after the letter that was signed by the current SSG, that they want to balkanize, share Benin Kingdom into some people now who are now fighting for the palace were against me, that I was lying, that it was a bad Egwamari Gonabenigi. That some of them, I will never forgive some of them, because some of them were not fighting for the palace. When I was telling them that this was the original intent, from the artifact Magisiabo to the balkanization of the kingdom. I saw all of these things. I saw when he was making a subtle moves to meet the Elawari of Hussein, to meet the Ogiamians, to meet Umohunokwa, the Nogi of Umohunokwa, then to go and meet the Iyase of Udo, which Iyase of Udo declined rather, of all these four principalities that has an ancestral history to contest with the Oba of Benin. They were fraternizing with them. I said this thing 3 years ago, that this is a subtle move to balkanize Benin Kingdom. Until you're to be on the Egbeladian, I cried, I screamed on my lungs. Nobody believed me. Even some people were fighting me then. That what do I have against this government? I don't have anything against the government. I'm not benefiting from anywhere. It's not as if anybody is paying me. I've said this a million times. You can go and confirm. I know because of that, I've generated a lot of hate from some people. And I don't bloody care. You don't feed me, I don't feed you. But a matter no reme, do we ata. Okay, so anybody can have opinions about. I can never come to your comment sections. I can never come to any of your videos about your opinions. So I also appeal, don't come to my videos about your opinions, because I don't care. The truth was one of the elements of the foundation of this land. I give me one of the room that why, because Ilalubo. Because of Ilalibo. And we that are telling the truth have been accused of politicizing these things. In what dimensions that these things have been politicized, even when you saw that these things were happening. They accused us as we were trying to create a bridge that wasn't there between the state government and the royal house. But all of those letters was Izoduwa that instituted it. When the palace had court issues with the Ogamian family, the state government withdrew that issue. Why are they finding it difficult to withdraw the issue that is currently? Is it by adding the Attorney General of the state as a defender? That now makes them that they have clean hands. What about the subtles of meetings that Ijo ethnic groups have been having, that they want to have their kingdoms? Have the state government ever written anything that Oba of Benin is the only traditional ruler? So, at the appointed time, some of us will speak. Every person has been speaking, but a lot of them do not ordinarily understand the genesis of this whole matter. The genesis of this whole matter is traced back to the artifact. Nothing is traced back to the artifacts. Amakweni have the artifacts. And okay, since Amakweni have the artifact, who to wemeti, can we ba value or well, yet telling them these things, and a lot of them are talking rubbish. That mama ni magita do run that arik bageniane. Let anybody, like I have said, I have never stepped into the house of any politician since 2016, since I started fighting for the history and the culture of this. Now, if anybody sees me enter any politician's house since 2016, Izoduwa will never discuss any matter on the issues of Benin Kingdom. If anybody sees me that a politician since 2016 in a Buhari 100 Nerame, I will stop fighting. So, do your politics and do your politics. Some of us are not interested in your politics. Some of us are not interested who becomes governor by November. Some of us are not interested. But what we are interested that in all of your madness, take the palace away from it. And the people, we are the victims. And they are now accusing us for them being the victims. Oh, some of us are very much aware of what is going on. And a lot of us knows the truth. But because of Ikpagie, Omagiem and Ibungi there would there. But I'll leave it like this way. My greatest pain is that Don Pedro recognizes his own family. And in spite of everything that has been happening in Benin Kingdom, he never said anything. But he wants to defend his family name. Then now you now have this Enige, who has benefited so much with their family name. Who has benefited so much with their family name. And they are now fighting the same institution which they share blood with. Accuse anybody you can accuse. You can accuse the governor as much as you can accuse the governor. But one thing that we have failed to understand in this fight is that it is the greed of this so-called Enige that led to the problem that we have. Because if they were not greedy, I don't think anybody outside the royal house can use them. It is their greed that has brought us to where we are now. And we should never forget that. Boy, we. But Oma no greedy Emma. This is a typical example. We should not forget that it is their greed, some of these members of the royal house, that has led us to the place that we are now. Because if they were not greedy, I don't think someone who is not within the royal house can control them to now fight the institution that made them blue blood, that make them become being respected, that become what they are, that they now raise the shoulder, that they want to now fight the institution that made them who they are. It is their greed. Obama talked about it. He said, "Oh,